So today I'm going to be taking you through how to use PivotalTracker, GitHub, and Git when working on a project. So there were two tutorials for this. However, the first tutorial got messed up. So I'm just going to take you through a brief overview of what happened. So initially, when you come to PivotalTracker and it's your first time, you start from the icebox where you create your stories. Your stories can either be a feature, a bug, a chore, or a release. So I'm just going to create an example of a story. However, we had already created other stories in the next tutorial that you will see. So let me just create another sample story. So what happens is a story is given in the perspective of like the end user. So as a dashboard. So we can look at this as a feature, and for features we have to give a timeline. A timeline is the amount of time you estimate the project will take. However, in the event that you find that your project takes a very long time or you are assigning it like 3 points, what is advisable is that you break this story into small manageable stories that can be done within a shorter period of time. So if we give this like 1 point, then for description, let's say a user should say as a user I should have a dashboard that holds my profile and other activities that I handle. So in acceptance, acceptance is what would mark like as a milestone what's actually required by this story. So let's say something like design a dashboard link dashboard menu to other pages. So after this, you can add tasks. As you can see that this can be broken down into smaller tasks. So I think like design dashboard HTML. Add links to menu of dashboard, link links to other pages. So after you have your story in your icebox, at some point you'll need to start it. So what happens? You move it from the icebox to your current iteration and mark it as started. So for PivotalTracker to be able to monitor your GitHub, you have to link it to your GitHub. So what happens is that you come to GitHub. So as we had already created another project, let me just show you a sample of how you'd have done it if it was another project. So let's say create a new repository, So let's call this my test repo. So this repository name is supposed to be like your project name. So what would have done, maybe call it my diary, and then add a description about what? About the project. It's not mandatory, but it's a good practice to have a description so that the people who view it can be able to understand what it's doing. So there's so linking a repository to PivotalTracker is relatively simple. You have to come to the settings and scroll down to integrations and services and add a service, then select PivotalTracker. So it will ask you for your password. This is your GitHub password. Then it requires a token. So to add a token, all you have to do is come to your profile and then scroll down to API token. Copy this token. Warning. And then paste it there. Then all you have to do is click add service and it will be connected. So when a project is new, for PivotalTracker to start tracking, so for new projects, for PivotalTracker to start monitoring your GitHub, you have to have like an initial commit. Without the initial commit, it won't show any activity in the project history. So from that point, that's when you actually now start a story and start working on it locally. So the big concepts that you must know is there are things that you have to have at your fingertips while you're working. Have command line knowledge, that being changing directories, making directories, writing files, then understanding the git commands. So in the event that you've created a new project that's already on GitHub, now just like what we have here, so there are two ways I can approach this to start working on my local machine. Either one, I can do a git clone, and then pass in this. However, at least this will create a project called my test project on your system, so you'll have to redirect your my test repo and then to be able to start working. The second method is when you use for new projects. The first thing you'll have to do, let's say you have a local project and you have a project on your local machine, but you haven't yet connected it to GitHub. So what you do is you'll have to initialize Git within that project. So this is done by doing a git add. After doing this, this is done by doing a git init. After doing git init, this will initialize your project to be monitored by Git. Then the next thing after doing that, you have to do git remote add origin. Then same process, add that link. So this is for a project that is already local. What we did before was for a project that's non-existent when we did a git clone. So with these basics, you should be able to follow along with the next set of tutorials.